I'm Chris Avena with American Outdoor News, another episode of our podcast. I'm here with Justin Morrissey from National Shooting Sports Foundation. We're here to speak about the Plus One Initiative. Justin, thanks so much for coming on.
Absolutely, Chris. Thanks for having me.
So, what inspired the Plus One movement?
Well, the Plus One movement was heavily inspired by the need to increase participation in hunting and the shooting sports to make sure that those traditions are sustained. Over the last few decades, we've seen a decline in hunting participation,
Mhm.
just different areas of shooting sports participation. I mean, in general, it's ma been maintained pretty well, but we want to just make sure we continually see growth and that people are enjoying the shooting sports and actively trying to improve their awareness around firearm safety and fundamentals of firearms.
Was this your brainchild, Plus One?
It was a team project that we came up with based on a lot of the research and these trends overall.
Yeah.
Um, I would say that the evolution of it over the last several years has been led by me. I'm the plus one liaison. But yeah, when we first started off, it was a mentor um, like promotional mentorship campaign pretty much, right? So
Yeah.
we're just promoting the idea that mentorship is a great thing. It's a great thing for anybody and for communities and get involved and help out a neighbor kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And now it's transformed to be more of a recruitment program and a facilitation program. We are focusing more on engaging mentors and linking them to opportunities at their local level with programs that exist like National Deer Association's Field to Fork program,
Sure.
Pheasants Forever, Passing on Outdoor Mentors, and other great partners of ours. So it's a very collaborative, cooperative sort of effort.
Yeah, there's so many great organizations to partner with and collaborate with. How has how has it changed and evolved since you first started Plus One?
Yeah, so at first we started with a pledge as like one of the primary things that would lead plus one, right? It was more of an awareness element of it. So I would say the way it's changed has been naturally through phases. And the first phase was awareness, making sure that people knew that mentorship was important, why it was important.
Uh-huh.
But then what we learned over time was that in the first few years was that pledges show intentions, but intentions are really hard to show. Beyond that, it's hard to get any sort of meaningful metric on like what we're actually doing, right? Like what we're doing as a community, how we're changing the way people perceive mentorship and hunting and apprenticeship. Like we needed to have a little bit more concrete evidence of what we were doing. So we made a big shift, and starting to make that shift, the first thing we saw was that there's a lot of silos in different areas of the industry where there are different organizations that specialize in certain game species, and there may be some limitations with some where they maybe are a little bit broader. They specialize in mentorship, but they're also a regional
Yeah.
organization. So they're also limited. So we saw this opportunity to kind of create this web, this network of mentorship organizations, and also help organizations who didn't have replicable mentorship programs like Learn to Hunt, Learn to Shoot programs, and help them build a curriculum and a model that can be scalable, so that we can make sure that there are opportunities in communities all across the nation. So that's it's kind of where we're headed now, and we're getting close here to launching a nationwide mentor recruitment campaign that ultimately is going to feed new mentors into these organizations and these partners, and that's one of the
Yes.
major roles that we play at Through Plus One.
Well, there's mentorship in a lot of different industries, sports and the like. How do you define the role of a mentor for hunting and shooting sports? It's
Yeah,
different than most.
Yeah, it's a good question. It definitely can be a little more complex. There are different challenges that come into play when it comes to hunting or shooting. Like, there's some people are a little bit hesitant or may have a little they may be a little more nervous about firearms up front. So
Yeah.
you need to have kind of like you need to know how to approach them. You have to have good soft skills. And with hunting can be a very individual thing also.
Yeah.
Like, people can be pretty territorial around hunting properties and information and intel and all that stuff. So we
Yeah.
kind of have to navigate all through that. But what I like to say is that a true expert in firearms and hunting are is a person who can effectively teach another person, and you continually test your skills. Like, if you are a true expert, you should be able to navigate and like through helping different people and address everybody's unique skill set, and you should be able to see where they can grow, how you can help them. And that is what an expert is. An expert is a really good teacher, really good instructor, somebody who can go out there and help anybody with whatever they need to grow. So that's my take on it, and I like to challenge myself with that, and I've always been that way. And I've always appreciated educators for the good educators for what they do to help communities. So that's kind of the approach we take.
How has it grown? How many mentors you have? How many mentees do you have? How
Yep.
do you recruit that?
Yeah, so that's a really good question. And right now, I mean, when we took the pledge, we had a number of pledges where when somebody signed on to take the pledge, they pledged that they would take so many people. And that number went above 2 million of the
Wow.
potential number of people who could be taken out by mentors. And that once again, it was like all intentions, right? So now that we've shifted, we've focused on partnerships with these organizations and programs, and we've actually looked at the number of mentors that they have already on. So like shooting sports coaches, uh, firemen trainers or instructors, field to fork leaders, or learn to hunt,
Yep.
learn to shoot leaders, uh, firearm or hunter education instructors. Like, we identify all these different people who can be defined as educators, leaders, mentors, etc. And that number is at about 62,000 with all of
Wow.
our partners.
That's
Um,
impressive.
yeah, so I mean that we're looking at that from a community standpoint, right? Like, that's all across the country, all these organizations. And that's a number that is really important because the annual support that they provide through these programs that they're affiliated with, that 62,000, is just over 500,000. So
Yeah.
every year, those mentors are helping 500,000 people. And those may be new. There obviously there's churn. There are new people coming in. There are new people
Uh-huh.
being recruited. So they help all of those people ongoing. So every year we can count on this grassroots mentor group to support that many people. And the ratio comes out to about, for every one mentor, there are about nine mentees.
Wow.
So with that idea in mind, and that's through these programs, right? So it's a little different for someone like you or me. If we were like on our own, we weren't a part of a program. We know that that number is more if someone's uh, gives us like a pledge. They say that they can take out on average about 3 to 5 people.
Yeah.
So that it's a little bit lower with that, but that's kind of the reason why we're taking this partnership approach, is we know it's more scalable and there's more of a model to it that can be easily adopted and brought forward.
Now those numbers are across the board from deer hunting to pheasant to waterfowl, upland game. That's a
Yep.
cumulative number.
Yeah, and I would look at that also like broader, I would say, than hunting even. That's hunting and shooting sports. So
Okay.
it's all participation overall. And we'll break it down per hunting and per shooting sports when we get to that point. But for now, We just look at it simply from a mentor to mentee standpoint. Like
Yeah.
as long as we can definitely count on all of these people, all these mentors, all these students or mentees, whatever, they want to be called. They're all learning firearm safety and they're all learning
Mhm.
fundamentals to make sure that communities are safer, with citizens who just understand firearms and respect firearms. So that's one of our main core elements of this is making sure that people just um, are very aware of that element.
Well, I'm not adverse to having that as a part of your getting your hunting license or getting a firearm license. Just because you read about it, it doesn't translate over to real life where you're actually handling it. So actually having a mentor like a plus one or uh, an instructor or somebody knowledgeable, somebody an expert in the field, actually teaching you how to handle it safely. I think that should be a part of it.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a good point to why these partnerships with these organizations are so important because a lot of these organizations do have certifications. So IHEA, the International Hunter Education Association, they have standards for hunter education instructors to follow. It's a standard for what students go through a course when they pass the test and they get their hunter safety certificate. So, it is a good, effective way. It's a good, effective approach where we can make sure that these certifications are more standardized, right?
Uh-huh.
We also do want to make sure that everybody understands like you can always help your neighbor.
Yeah.
I can go knock on my neighbor's door right now and say, "Hey, do you want to go hunting?" Oh, and I maybe they haven't been before, and I say, "No problem." And that's totally fine. They don't need a certification in Wisconsin where I'm at. There's an apprentice license program where a new hunter, as long as they have a mentor who has firearm safety or hunter education certification, they can go with me.
Yeah.
And so the certification isn't necessary, and it's been proven to be an effective system too in that way. Uh, if I'm just a guy who likes to help others or bring a friend out, and they don't need to go through that whole process to get their certification before they can even give it a try.
Yeah.
But at least there's a model with it that is proven to work, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fun though, and we're learning a lot from it all.
Yeah. Because I know when I got my uh, hunter safety certificate way back before automobiles had seatbelts, uh, it was very academic. It was, you read the book, teacher talks to you, you take the test. Okay, good luck, you're on your own. They didn't speak to you about um, firearm safety or, if you're uh, going through the field, you're walking over a blowdown or a stone wall or a fence or, how do you handle your firearm? They didn't go through any of that. So
Yep.
your mentorship covers all of this.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, a mentor is someone who can go beyond the classroom and you can go with them, you can shadow them, and you can learn hands-on and some of those things that you don't quite understand in the classroom, to your
Hmm.
point, you can actually get that hands-on experience in the field. And you don't learn in a classroom, or even if you did learn in a classroom, like what to do when you approach, if you're hunting public land and you like see another hunter or you see a non-hunter, somebody just out hiking, like what do you do in that circumstance? So you just kind of learn from people who are experienced and can kind of guide and give the right advice and the wisdom out in the field.
Yeah. So, what are some of the biggest obstacles that you've come across with the organization?
Yeah, so probably the biggest one at this point, one of the biggest limitations or challenges is the relationship management when we're dealing with a community, right? Like there's a lot of people involved in this. There are a lot of partners involved. And so it just ends up taking time to establish these things. But overall, the support for it has been like overwhelming. When we reach out and we want to work with somebody and we say, "Hey, we want you to be a part of this. You guys do great stuff." It seems like the need is pretty consistent across the board. Like there is a need, um, for these organizations to have
Hmm.
support from an initiative that thinks about the greater good, right? We like to say that we're like the tide that raises all ships, because all these different organizations face the challenges and that same opportunities, and it's kind of nice to be able to learn together, and face those things together and overcome them and work together. So, but there's a lot of information. There's a lot of relationships and information and all this stuff, and we're trying to also improve tools that mentors can use, like where to shoot, our where to shoot app. We're trying to expand that so it's not just like range locations, but also event locations, so you can actually find like events more frequently.
Yeah.
Um, so just little things like that, but yeah, overall though, it's very supported. It's seen as a philanthropic thing. It's supporting community, it's supporting firearm safety, it's supporting, self-sustainability and teaching others how to, take care of themselves and go out and harvest their own game meat, and which is healthy and so
Yeah.
on. So I think overall we have a lot of uh we have a lot of good things going for us.
Well, that's one thing about our industry. Companies and even individuals, they're always willing to jump in and say, "Yeah, let's do it." They're
Yep.
always looking to grow and foster the next generation. So it's very welcoming in that respect.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And two, as NSSF, so NSSF like owns and manages Plus One. But we don't really tie NSSF's name directly to Plus One in
Yeah,
its general promotion, because we like to see all of the organizations, all of our partners as equal stakeholders in it.
sure.
We need a project leader. That's essentially what NSSF is. But the really good thing about it is that community effort. We do learn from each other, and there's just a lot of really helpful insights. And then the business side of things and how businesses can get involved. That's coming up as like the next phase. So we're building this system and then we're integrating opportunities and incentives for mentors through businesses in the industry, manufacturers who have products. Um, and that's kind of the approach we're taking. So any mentor who joins Plus One will eventually get those benefits. And it's a way that we engage them and say,
Uh-huh.
like, not only are we motivating you to continue mentoring and to expand your mentoring and join these organizations and their events, their learn to hunt, learn to shoot events, but you also have this like additional benefit of these incentives that you could win because you're a Plus One mentor and it's exclusive to that group.
Yeah, I was that was actually my next question, how to get involved, organizations and individuals. But I would imagine when an organization joins or gets involved with Plus One, they're not just offering their products or services. I'm sure a lot of the individuals at the company jump in as mentors themselves.
Yeah, that's the hope. Actually, as one of the one of like I like to ask the question, who are mentors, and include that in any time I'm presenting on like who a mentor is. And one of the bulleted items in that is business owners. And it could be a business owner in the firearm ammunition hunting industry, outdoor industry, or it could be somebody outside of it who works in a different industry but is passionate about it, right?
Yeah.
So it's this idea where we're being as inclusive as possible. It's not an industry effort, it's a community effort. Industry is a part of the community effort, but it is definitely broader, just to make sure that we can be inclusive, we can maximize these opportunities, and a business getting involved, to keep it once again inclusive. We actually don't plan on anytime soon having any like types of sponsorships overall for Plus One
Yeah.
to say like Plus One, sponsored by XYZ brand. It's more of a one-off type thing of like, oh, you want to get involved, you want to support it. Well, you can support it through this like special campaign or like offering an incentive in August of 2026. But it's very hands-on, it's very intentional with everything that we do for our mentors.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that everything we do is keeping the mentors in mind first as a priority.
So they're more of a partnership than a sponsorship.
Absolutely, 100%. Yep.
You have a vested interest, it's going to grow faster.
Yep. Yes, exactly. It's a good way to gain brand recognition when we do a special campaign, but it's not going to be a, oh, give us money and we're going to promote you all the time and whatever. It's no, it's very intentional. We need to make sure that anything we do is going to be seen as valuable to our mentorship audience, because that I can't stress enough how important mentors are in our community. Like, I mean, even looking at from a parent standpoint, right? Like, parents are mentors too. I've got a kid and another one on the way, and like I see myself as a mentor to my kids, but I also want to go beyond that and mentor other people.
Uh-huh.
So, the future of the sports, the future of understanding firearm safety and keeping our communities safe, and it depends on those mentors, those parents, those instructors, and all this community support for these people who are interested in learning more.
All right. So, how does an individual get involved, and how do they find out more about Plus One?
Yeah, so individuals can go to nssf.org/plus one and you can access, there are kind of two sides to it. There's the target shooting side and there is the hunting side. So you can kind of like pick your pathway in a way, but you can sign up to be a mentor. You fill out a form to be an official Plus One mentor. We go through, we vet everybody who comes in. We ask for like any pre-existing certifications you have, etc. And then with that information, we connect those mentors with local opportunities with different organizations that are near them. And we just do a lot of facilitation from that point on. But anybody who also signs up to be a mentor at nssf.org/plus one, they are going to receive a welcome gift from us. It's a Plus One hat, so it says Plus One, aim to inspire on the side. They get a flashlight, a flashlight they can put in their range bag or in their hunting pack, uh, and some other really good stuff, some stickers that they can use themselves or give to friends. So we just want to make sure that mentors understand like how important they are to us and to our entire Plus One community. Um, so yeah, we welcome anybody who wants to make a difference, and aim to inspire.
Not your 501(c)(3)?
It's just through NSSF at this point. So I mean, it's not its own separate entity or anything at this point. It's just a program of NSSF. It may get to
Uh-huh.
a point where, it becomes its own separate thing, but for now, it's just kind of categorized under NSSF's umbrella. So
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to speak to us today. And like we said, go to nssf.org/plus one and check out the website. You want to get involved, definitely fill out an application, get involved. It's a great organization to deal with.
awesome. Well, thanks a lot, Chris. I really appreciate you having me on here.
Anytime.